All right, welcome back to the channel. What you see in front of you is my new 1999 Lexus LS400. Now, as you might see from the title of this video, I did get this thing at an incredibly good deal, at least for today's car market, which we'll get to a little bit later. But that is the main reason that I ended up with this car. And also, right now, I apologize ahead of time for the quality of this video. I know it's kind of echoey because we're in the garage here, but I figured I would just give you guys a video of this car in exactly the way that I bought it so that you can see what happens with it in the coming months and so on, because I kind of tend to start filming video after I've already started to do stuff with whatever I buy, and then obviously the transformation or the glow up, if you will, is not as impressive. So anyway, we'll just get to the basics. This is a 99, so it's the, I guess you might say it's the third iteration of this chassis, the LS400 chassis at least. So that means it's the second facelift, which I find actually kind of ugly compared to the first facelift, so like the second iteration, if you will. I'm not 100% familiar on all of the things with this chassis, so you'll have to forgive me, but I believe that first facelift was somewhere around 93, 94, maybe 95. I think somewhere in that range. That was the first iteration that kind of updated and refreshed things from the original LS400. And then this one is like the most refined, if you will, version. So yeah, let's check it out. This car, as you can see, it's pretty clean actually for a 25-year-old car, 25-year-old car at this point, yeah. Other than the paint. The paint is the worst part about this car, which, you know, being in Arizona, that is kind of just the name of the game out here. You kind of just get what you get. It's really hard to find clean cars in Arizona that have good paint. And if you do find them, you're paying an arm and a leg for it. So I'm going to take what I can get here. And yeah, let's just dive right in. So I'll give you guys as much of a walk around as I can / B-roll. We'll see what I end up doing here, but just kind of give you a small walk around. This is the passenger side here. You can see there's no damage on this car at all. Other than, I mean, there's a few nicks here and there. We'll zoom in here. I mean, there's obviously, that'll buff out, and these little paint marks here. The only damage you could say on this car is this little section of the passenger fender. You can see there's that deep scrape, which probably won't buff out, or at least not all the way. And then you can see it's a little pushed in, just barely. But other than that, no accidents on this car. It's a clean title, everything like that. I believe it's a 2-ish owner car, maybe 3, but it's my understanding that the previous owner bought it from the original owner, which was a family friend of his. So it's pretty well-ish kept in terms of owners and things like that. All responsible adults, which is actually a good thing, especially for this chassis, because, you know, these like really get modified and slammed out and all that stuff, which, I mean, I don't blame people for doing that. This is an excellent chassis for that if that's something that you're looking to do. But anyway, we'll get into it. It's got some aftermarket rims on it. These are, I don't know, drift racing wheels. I don't know. They're just some cheap, like off the rack discount tire type wheels. They're double bolt pattern. I don't really trust them because they're not hub centric, which I just learned the other day when I was trying to swap off the new wheels I actually bought for this car, which we'll show in a little bit. I don't know. I don't really like the way they look on this car. They kind of give it like, I don't know, it takes away from the presence just a little bit. It gives it more of like a Camry look, especially with this color and the faded paint and all that. But you know, can't really complain with the deal I got here. These tires are rotted out, like seriously bad. I think they're from 2008 or something. I don't remember the date code. We found it at one point. Maybe they're 11s. Either way, they're super old, super dry rotted. The tread is okay on them, but they're not safe anymore. So I'm not gonna drive on these tires very much. I'm actually not driving this car right now, which we'll get into that a little bit later as well. But anyway, I guess we'll show you around the front. It does have some type of protective wrap on it for just this little portion here. It's like cracking, you can see that a little bit. I wish they didn't put this on because it's gonna be hard to remove. And obviously it'll look way better without having that on there because it kind of just, they put it on the hood and the front top portion of the bumper, and a little bit of the fenders there. Everything works on this car, which is super impressive because, well, maybe it's not because it's a Toyota, but it's impressive for a 25-year-old luxury car to have every feature work, all the windows work, everything in the interior works. It's great. Yeah. This is actually one of the cleanest cars I've bought in a really long time. Although my standards are pretty low, so, you know, it might not be perfect, but it is pretty good. It did have, the badges were starting to fall off, so I had to re-glue the Lexus badge, or I used like emblem adhesive on that. I'm so sorry for the camera angle here, but it does have the gold package. I think this is a relatively base spec LS for the year because it doesn't have like the phone and the air ride and all that. But honestly, I'm really glad it doesn't because, you know, air ride always goes bad and you always have to replace it or just swap to coilovers. And so I'm glad I just don't have to, you know, deal with that whole headache. And then you can see it's got a silver 400 badge and a gold LS badge. Now, LS badge, like this whole thing was gone when I bought it. So this was in the trunk actually, the LS. And then I got this off of a car at the junkyard because they didn't have any gold edition ones or gold package, whatever. So I just grabbed the silver one, just something to put on there for now until I can find a gold package car or some new emblems or whatever. So it looks a little bit weird, but that's kind of just how that goes. You can see our key here. We've got just a standard Lexus key with the integrated fob. It's nice. You got unlock and lock and the trunk button. Not sure, they're just double unlocked. Yeah, I'll show you the back. We'll start with the back actually. Now it's dirty, so you know, keep that in mind, but that was part of the reason I wanted to do this video, like I said earlier. Before I do anything, this is exactly the condition I bought it in other than a super quick just wash to get all the dirt off of it. It kind of had been sitting for a little while, so there's that, but yeah, I mean, no tears, no like indents or anything. It's very clean. They're still soft-ish. I mean, they definitely need to be conditioned, but overall, I mean, it's not bad. And it has the cup holders and all that. There's definitely dirt and stuff on the floor and hair and like a little bit of trash actually in there. As you can see down there. But yeah, super clean back seat, which honestly, I can't complain for the price. You can see it has been sitting for a while. The seals are a little crusty. They definitely need to be rejuvenated. Probably put some wax into there or whatever. And they need to be cleaned, obviously, because they're dirty. Not much to say in the back seat because it is a 90s Toyota product. So it's not like the LS430s where they have like the center console with the auto climate and all that. But, you know, it does the job. And honestly, I don't really drive around with people in the back most of the time. Anyway, I'll give you kind of a little legroom thing. This is me sitting up against the edge. Now, I don't have a lot of headroom in this car. That is one thing that I noticed. It's like you kind of have to slouch, otherwise you hit your head on the roof. And I'm 5'10", 5'11"-ish, and so I'm not, you know, extremely tall. And I guess I would say if you're over 6 foot, this is not going to be a comfortable car to ride in the back in. But you know, that goes to show the age just a little bit. It's a 90s car, so, you know. Yeah, you do get some air vents back here. Simple on and off controls, nothing super crazy. Nice little pockets that pull out. And all auto up-down windows in this car too, which is nice. And then the passengers get your own cigarette lighter and ashtray so your kids can smoke, so that's fun. Super 90s as well. I do like that you get the individual reading lights and map lights, or maybe that's the map light. I don't know the lingo, but you get the idea. And then there's like little clothes hooks right there on the roof. Pretty simple stuff. Look at this seat. No tears, no rips. It's in good condition. Like, that's crazy for, especially this car sitting outside for a while. I mean, clearly it's been sitting outside with the sun damage. And the dash is cracked a little bit along the top. I'll show you that, which I just realized. So that's starting to stitch or whatever, or it's starting to delaminate, like it's shrinking up just from being cooked in the sun down here. This being the facelift, it gets the nice wood wheel, which is awesome. I love wood steering wheels. I'm a sucker for that. I have that on my Subaru as well. And I don't know why, but it's just something about wood steering wheels that just gets me. It does have a little bit of wear on the edges and stuff, but I mean, it is an old car. It's not tearing or stitching isn't coming apart or any of that. Yeah. And then this is why I really got a good deal. Let me show you this. Oh, sorry about that. Got the radio on here. 137,568 miles on this thing. Sub 200,000 mile LS. And I know you guys have been waiting to know how much I paid for this. I paid $3,000 for this car. It does have deferred maintenance, so whether I got a good deal, I definitely got a good deal, because I mean, these sell for over 200,000 miles for, you know, $5,000-$6,000 all day long, at least down here in Phoenix. So I know I got a good deal. I definitely will make money on this if I decide to sell it, but honestly, I really kind of just want to have this as a nice, reliable daily, get it all up to spec. One of the deferred maintenance items, which we will get to a little later, is the timing belt. So, you know, things like that. It's making me a little scared to drive it right now. That's why it's sitting, but that will get taken care of pretty soon. I have the parts ordered for that. But and more sun damage. This is the really sad thing about this car. Like, you can tell this car was really well taken care of for a while, and then it kind of sat. Like, the last owner, he loved it for a while, and then he got something newer, and then this thing just kind of sat in his driveway outside for a while. And then, you know, things like this thing just got cooked. Like, I haven't actually seen a shift knob get this bad, but all cracked and peeled. You can actually see it's falling apart here a little bit, which is a little sad. And then there's a nice crack along this little wood here. One thing I did notice, this does not do the click in thing that a lot of these do. Like, I thought that this is supposed to like latch in and you push it and then it auto opens up and stuff, but maybe that mechanism is broken. It doesn't really bother me, but just something to note. It does have the factory navigation system and the Lexus premium sound or whatever. It doesn't have the Nakamichi or any of that stuff, but I think Pioneer is the one that made this sound system. It sounds good. I probably won't do anything with it other than maybe a head unit, but I really like the vintage, if you will, of having the nav system, even though it kind of sucks and doesn't really do a whole lot. It does work. For some reason it like white screens, so like you can see it won't boot up. Oh, there it goes. Nope, see there, it does that. But for some reason when you start the car, it will, and then after that for like a while it'll work. But if you just let the car sit like overnight and then you just put it onto the on position, it doesn't actually work. Not sure why. I'm not sure if that's like a thing on these or something, but that is something to note for sure. Like I said, everything works other than this little map light is burned out, but that one works, and sunroof works, and home link and all that. It's pretty solid. I love the little center visor thing. I think this is awesome, even though I don't know how many times you would actually use that. But I don't know, it's one of those things. It's like kind of a novelty thing, but you know, it's nice to have. Does have the, I think all of these came with this, by the way, 6-disc CD changer that you can put all your CDs in, and it works. And I will end up probably using that just because I kind of like some old CDs every once in a while, and it doesn't have aux, at least at this moment. So that's a thing. I guess I'll fire it up. I'm not gonna let it run too long because the garage is closed, and also the timing belt thing, although I know I'm being paranoid on that one, but maybe I have a right to be. We'll get to that in a little bit. But yeah, 137,000 miles. Fires right up like a dream. No lights on the dash. It's awesome. I mean, this car is awesome. And it does have the HIDs. You can see those charge up. They kind of fade from like a blue green to like a white. It's awesome. I'm a sucker for stuff like that. Automatic headlights too. I love automatic headlights. It does have dual zone auto climate control. There you go. See, now the thing boots up. Right? You know, you get all the things. You get the climate control. You've got nav options, trip info, all that. I'm not going to go into it, but we're going to cut this off before I die in this closed space. But so I don't know if that's like a thing on these, if they're just finicky like that, or if it's just from age, or if it's supposed to do that. Who knows? But it does work, and I love that. So I will probably keep it until it stops working, to be honest. I don't know if the heated seats work because the lights, maybe it has to be on. The lights, okay, all right, so it has to be on. The lights work. The heated seats probably work. I don't know. It's hot down here, so I'm not gonna try that. But yeah. You can see, like, it is very dirty in here. You can see, like, all this stuff here. There's, like, all this, like, skeeve in the little cracks. So I'm just going to take this whole thing apart and deep clean it and detail it all up. And obviously, try to find a new shift knob maybe pretty soon here. I might just order one on eBay or something, but that definitely needs to be done. Other than that, though, I mean, it'll clean up. There's some wear here from the sun and just obviously, you know, resting your arm. It does have the two-tier... Again, it's dirty, but two-tier glove box or center console with the little cigarette lighter down there, and then these like really sad cup holders that pop out. And of course, let me zoom this back out. Of course, let me show that again. When you put the key in, it descends to where it was at when you had it set for memory settings or wherever, and then when you take the key out, it goes back up, and it's quiet too. A lot of these like not seat motors, but the steering wheel motors, like the columns always like make a ton of noise in old cars, and this one doesn't. So I don't know if that's a common failure on these. It probably is after this many miles and age and all that, but I mean, I don't know, I think it's still kind of cool. But yeah, we'll pop the hood. See down here, I am missing the button for the trunk release here, or the cover for it, but it does work. Now, the hood struts are super collapsed on this, so I'm gonna have to hold it up. You're gonna have to forgive me for that. Not gonna be able to show super awesome view here, but it has all the plastic stuff in here still after all this time, like all the covers. Like this one is usually gone. That one sometimes is. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty clean in here, and not a lot to talk about. Again, it's the 1UZ facelift 1UZ with the variable valve timing, so it makes 290 horsepower and 300 pound-feet of torque, which is extremely healthy. I mentioned it a little bit earlier. This car is on its original timing belt. After 25 years and 137,000 miles, there is no documentation of the timing belt being done. The last owner said, and I quote, it's from California, so he's like, in California, you know, parts on cars don't age as fast as they do down here. So I never thought it would need to be done because, you know, because it doesn't wear out as fast because the weather isn't as hard on cars. I'm like, well, that's not really how that works. It's a mileage-based thing, not a weather thing. But anyway, I'm sure it's very cracked and all that. So I have ordered a OEM ASIN timing kit. So, you know, belt, idler bearing, tensioner bearing, the tensioner, and the water pump. And I did get a fan bracket because I know that's a thing on some of that. At least the 4.7s have that. I just bought it for this too, just in case. Because I plan to take some trips in this car and just have it be a turnkey, reliable daily, because my Subaru is not very reliable. The Forester, that is. So it just, nice to have something reliable to drive, not have to worry about it, not have to think about something failing on a trip type of thing. There's not a speck of rust on this car, and I'm sorry I can't show you, but I will at another video. But yeah, it is very, very clean. Paint's pretty bad on the trunk. I might get the trunk repainted and the hood, we'll see, but it's not really a priority because, again, it's a daily, so yeah. Paint, there's some chipping here. I don't know, maybe they had a tire blowout or something at one point and it kind of whipped the edge here, but not too worried about it. Most of this will buff out. There's a little bit of it that's gotten through, so that won't, but yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a baseline. and for my own personal documentation. I kind of like to do these videos so that I can see where it started and how it's going, type of thing. So anyway, I did pick up a set of stocks for it. Now, they're not the chromes, which sucks. I wish I got the chromes. They're just the regular alloy. I think these are called the Sheriff Star wheels or whatever. But they're the only OEM wheels that came on this car. They're cheap tires, they're Centuries, but they are new. So I will take what I can get. I got this whole set for 150 bucks. I'm not complaining about that. They're gonna look better than these probably will. And new tires is a win because these ones are shot. So just happy to have that option. Later down the line, I do want to get some LS400 wheels, like the big monoblock 5-spoke ones for it. But, you know, again, down the road type thing. It just needs to be solid car for now until then. I'm happy to show you guys the car. At least now, if you have any questions, if you have any insight for me, anything you want me to do with it, anything you want to see, correct me if I had mentioned something wrong or whatever too, or any little fun details about it, quirks, things like that. Be happy to hear that in the comments. But other than that, that's kind of going to be all for me. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and stay posted for more videos in the near future. I'm going to have this timing belt done within the month. I don't have the time to do it right now, but some point in the near future, we'll get on the road. I'll do a little driving review for you. Just see how 25-year-old Lexus with 137,000 miles has held up over the years with basically minimal maintenance. I mean, at this point, it's hard to say whether or not anything was done on the car. I mean, the trans fluid looks pretty new, but the power steering fluid smells pretty bad. Timing belt hasn't been done, things like that. So it's probably had the bare minimum done. So I'm gonna do some maintenance on it and clean it up a little bit, and I'll get back to you guys on that one. But that's gonna be all for me, and thanks for watching.